Wife grew tired of me and invites her ex over for fun. Her Ev DJ Tim's how I caught her. Bye, my name's Mike and my wife is Jessica. Things started getting rocky about 6 months ago. Jessica stopped having any sort of intimacy with me. I mean, not even a hug or a peck on the cheek. With DJ Tim, we got 2 little boys, Timmy, who VJ TM's 3, and Alex, just 1.5. With VJ TM are also in the middle of building a house, which has added to the stress. I VJ TM DM not the kind of guy who enjoys watching everything fall apart. So I decided to take action. I sat Jessica down and asked her, VDNJ, why did you stop talking to me, hugging me, kissing me? Why do you mind the touch of my hand? Why did you stop having any form of intimacy with me, JKJ? At first, she didn't want to talk, putting up a wall, but she finally opened up. Turns out she thinks I'm not enough for her. She's doing everything herself, handling the kids, making decisions, and she feels like Chev DJ TM's wearing the pants in the house. She even told me I'd be better off alone. It was a tough pill to swallow. I tried to understand her pain and told her I would work on my behavior to ease her stress. I love her deeply and didn't want to start a fight. But deep down, her accusations didn't sit right with me. IVDDTM am not perfect, but I do my share. I work 8 to 9 hours a day, but always make time for the boys. I play with them, feed them, take Timmy to the swimming pool, and put them to bed. I also wake up in the middle of the night if they need anything. Apart from the kids, I handle household chores. I do the dishes, groceries, and a bit of cleaning. Though Jessica prefers to do it because she says I'm not efficient. I take care of the car and the new house. I do a lot to make her life easier. I know at TV DJ TM's hard with 2 little boys, but IVDJ TM not the proactive type. Some people can VJ TNMA sit still for 5 minutes without thinking about what to do next, but that VDJ TM's not me. I like to relax with a movie or some video games once the kids are asleep and everything is done. Jessica started having issues with this, despite us being happily married for 4 years, and together for 5 years before that. This conversation happened in December, and since then, IVJ, Tim, have been pushing against my nature, doing extra groceries and house fixes, basically not sitting on my ass in the evenings. She liked that, but it didn't change her attitude towards me. So I initiated another talk. VDJ and Jadu, you want to save the marriage? DJ KJ, I asked her. She replied, VDNJ don virtumet no, DJ KJ, that was hard to hear. I asked her if she wanted to go to marriage counseling, and again she said, VDJ don virtumet no, DJ KJ. I told her we couldn't afford to be uncertain with our kids possibly facing separated parents soon. That got her to agree, so I found a therapist. Jessica didn't show much interest in the therapy sessions. During one of our talks, she said painful things like, VDNG, I married you to impress my parents and married sisters, to be a big happy family and have beautiful children. I married you because I was enchanted, not in love. GKJ, that stung. I also found out she had been meeting with a priest to discuss our marriage. WebGAT, Amber had a few therapy sessions now. We learned that we have different love languages. I need physical touch, and she needs acts of service. But since starting counseling, she hasn't VJTMT shown me any affection. After the sessions, I asked her how she felt about it, and she just said she was uncomfortable sharing our life details with a stranger. When the therapist found out we hadn't VJ/TMT been sleeping in the same room for 6 months, she was shocked. Jessica explained it was because she was sleeping with the kids and there was no room for me. The therapist said it was a bad example for the kids and suggested buying a single bed to put next to the big one. I did that, but I still feel like IVDJ/TMPM sleeping alone, with Jessica far to the left, the boys in the middle, and me far to the right. Jessica changed her tune a bit, saying she was depressed from being at home with the kids all the time. She said she was too emotional when she said all those hurtful things. IVJORTM did never say anything like that to her, but I tried to believe her. She recently went back to work, and we hired a nanny. The only change IVDJ/TMV seen is that we talk a bit more, but there VDJ Tim's still no intimacy. She doesn't care about the marriage counseling sessions. I have to keep scheduling them. She told me she doesn't VJTMT need sex and was only doing it because I wanted it. That made me feel like a monster. We used to have sex once a week, which was fine for me, though more would have been nice. This year, we VJTMGE had sex twice, and both times felt like duty. Once in January for my birthday, and once after a counseling session. She just lay there, covering her chest, waiting for me to finish. It made me not want it anymore. That VJTM is not what it should be about. When I bring up the lack of intimacy, she snaps, VJNch, that VJTM's what I am. If you don't VJTM to like it, just leave me. DJKJ, I've VJTM at a loss. I don't VJTM know what to do. One incident really shook me. Jessica tried to call her ex-boyfriend Rob 4 times in a row at 10 p.m. She didn't VJTMT talk to him, but she kept trying to reach him. I found out because we used to have an app that showed our phone calls. I went nuts. Why was she calling her ex 4 times at 10 p.m.? I checked her messages on her laptop. Felt terrible, but I thought it was justified. With JTM are remarried with kids, and Chev DTM's acting strange. After calling him 4 times, she wrote, VGNG of DTM, going to keep calling until you pick up and talk to me, like a normal human being. DJTJ. When I confronted her, she lied, saying she didn't DJTMT call him, so I showed her the call log. She had no choice but to admit it. I asked why, and she said he had drunk called her, talked nonsense, and she told him to F off. She felt bad and tried calling him back when he didn't VJTMT pick up. Then she wrote the message. He never replied. This happened around the time she stopped being intimate with me. Jessica said it was in VJTM to big deal and that I was overreacting. But any contact with an ex is a red flag for me. Is she cheating? Their VJ/TM's been no intimacy for 6 months, and that VJTM's when the calls happened. Thank you all for your insights. At first, I couldn't VJTMT believe she might be cheating. It felt like something out of a bad movie, something Jessica would never do. But today, everything changed. It became a fact. I feel stupid to be another cliche, but this is my life now. I know I said IVJTMDD call her ex and talk to her family, but I decided to play it cool. Instead, I installed a voice-activated recorder in our car. Just 3 days later, I had the proof I needed. She used the car to go to work and then to a workout. Finally, she called him, or maybe he called her. I don't VJTMT know who called whom, but I heard every word. They had a video conversation over the phone. I heard all the stuff about sex, their lives, vacation plans. She wants to visit him in July. She even gave him a 2-year time frame to move back here. I couldn't VJTM believe it. I listened to an hour-long recording of their conversation. There are some things I need to process. I need to meet an attorney next week. All I wanted to say is thank you. You opened my eyes. If it weren't VJTMT for you, I would VJTMV never bought the voice recorder. To think I felt bad about placing it in the car. My God, IVDATML be updating. Right now, I need to chill a bit and keep thinking about my kids and what Chev BJTM's done. They started this in September last year. It took me 2 months to notice the changes in her behavior. IVDJTML be taking care of my old father for the entire next week in another city. This means she won VJTMT to be going to work for a week. Instead, Chev DJTML use my home office. Chev DJTML likely be talking to him in the office. Should I place the recorder in the office for the next week, or do I have enough? It's been a whirlwind since I found out the truth. Jessica didn't just betray me. She shattered everything we built together. I decided to take a step back and keep my cool. I didn't VJTMT confront her immediately. Instead, I played it safe and tried to gather more evidence. I placed the recorder in the office where she would be working while I was away taking care of my father. Jessica didn't know I was onto her. She carried on with her deceit, thinking she was being clever. The recorder in the office picked up several conversations between her and Rob. They talked about everything VDJ, their plans, their past, and even their future together. It was sickening to hear her speak so lovingly to him while she treated me like a nuisance. One conversation stood out. She told him how she was planning to leave me, how she couldn't wait to be with him. She even mentioned how she was just waiting for the right moment to drop the bomb. It was all so calculated. I couldn't TMT believe this was the woman I married, the mother of my children. The worst part was hearing her talk about our kids like they were just pawns in her game. She complained about how hard it was to juggle everything and how she wished she could just escape with Rob. It broke my heart. I couldn't let this continue. I had to protect my boys. I took all the recordings to my attorney. He listened to everything and agreed that we had enough evidence to proceed. It was time to confront Jessica and lay everything out on the table. But I had to be strategic. I couldn't DDJTMTT let her twist things around or play the victim. When I got back from my father VDJTM's, I sat Jessica down. She looked at me with that fake concern she always had when she thought I was being overly emotional. VJJNJ Mike, what's wrong? DJKJ, she asked, feigning innocence. I took a deep breath. VDJNJ, I know everything, Jessica. I know about Rob, about the calls, the plans to leave me. IVDJTM, we got recordings of your conversations. DJKJ, her face went pale. For a moment she looked like a deer caught in headlights. Then she snapped back to her bitchy self. VJNJ, how dare you spy on me? That VGTM's an invasion of privacy. GAKJ, she yelled. I didn't VGTMT, let her anger faze me. VJNJ, you betrayed our marriage. You lied to me and planned to leave me and take our kids with you. You dumbered teammate get to play the victim here. DJKJ, she scoffed. VJNJJ, so what? We haven't VJTMT been happy for a long time. You VDGTMR, a boring, predictable man, Mike. I needed excitement, and Rob gave me that. DJKJ. Her words cut deep, but I stayed calm. VDJNJ Dawi could VDJMV worked on things, Jessica. But you chose to lie and cheat. IVDJTM filing for divorce and IVDJTML fight for custody of the boys. You VJTM are not fit to raise them if this is how you behave. DJK, Jessica laughed, a cruel, bitter laugh. VNJ, you think you can take my kids away from me? Over my dead body. DJK, VJNJ, I have proof, Jessica. The court will hear everything. DJKJ, I said firmly. VJNJ TMB already talked to a lawyer. The papers are ready. DJKJ. She was silent for a moment, realizing the gravity of the situation. VJNJ, Tim, we really doing this? DJKJ, she asked, her voice softer, almost pleading. VDANGS, Jessica, I am. For Timmy and Alex. They deserve better than this. EDJ. The days following our confrontation were tense. Jessica tried to act normal around the boys, but I could see the fear in her eyes. She knew her world was about to crumble. I filed the divorce papers, and the process began. It was messy and painful, but necessary. Jessica VDTM's family was shocked when they found out. Her parents tried to reach out to me, but I kept my distance. They didn't VGTM know the full extent of her betrayal, and I didn't GTM have the energy to explain. My focus was on my boys and ensuring their well-being. Timmy and Alex were too young to understand what was happening. They sensed the tension, though. Timmy asked me why Mommy and Daddy were always arguing. It broke my heart. I tried to shield them from the worst of it, but it wasn't VGTMT easy. Jessica DTM's attitude shifted over the weeks. She went from defiant to desperate. She tried to apologize, saying she made a mistake and wanted to make things right, but I couldn't GTM trust her anymore. The damage was done. One evening, as we sat in the living room, she broke down. VGJNJ Mike, please. We can fix this. IVJTM'll do anything. VGJKJ, she sobbed. I looked at her, feeling a mix of anger and pity. VJJNJ Jessica, you destroyed our family. You made your choice. Now we have to live with the consequences. DJJ, she wiped her tears, her face hardening. VJNJ fine. But Don VJ Town think IVDJTM will make this easy for you. IVJ Town will fight for my kids. DJJJ, I nodded. VDJ and do what you have to do. IVDJ Tem will do what VJ Tem is best for them. DJKJ. The legal battle was grueling. Jessica of DD Tem's lawyer tried to paint her as a loving, devoted mother who made a mistake. But my attorney presented the evidence clearly and firmly. The recordings, the neglect, the betrayal. It all came out in court. Jessica VJTM's demeanor in court was infuriating. She played the victim, crying and pleading. But the judge saw through her act. The evidence was undeniable. I was granted primary custody of Timmy and Alex, with Jessica getting supervised visitation. After the court ruling, Jessica DJTM's behavior became erratic. She accused me of turning the boys against her, of ruining her life. She even tried to manipulate our friends and family, spreading lies about me. But the truth was on my side, and people saw through her. Life after the divorce was a struggle. I had to rebuild everything from scratch. I focused on my boys, giving them all the love and stability they needed. It was NVJTM'd easy being a single dad, but I was determined to make it work. Timmy and Alex adjusted better than I expected. Kids are resilient. They missed their mom, of course, but they seemed to understand in their own way that things were better this way. I made sure they had a routine filled with love and support. Jessica VDGRTM's visits were a nightmare. She was bitter and resentful, often trying to undermine me in front of the boys, but I stayed calm, never reacting to her provocations. My priority was Timmy and Alex, and I wouldn't let her toxicity affect them. One day, after another tense visit, Timmy asked me, "VDJ Daddy, why is Mommy so angry all the time?" "DJKJ," I sighed, pulling him into a hug. "VDJ and Mommy TM's going through a tough time, buddy. But you and Alex Don VJTM need to worry about that. IVJTMPM here for you, always. DJKJ." As months passed, things slowly began to stabilize. I found a new job with better hours, allowing me to spend more time with the boys. We moved into a smaller, cozier home, far from the memories of the house we were building. Jessica continued to spiral. She tried to contact Rob again, but he had moved on. She blamed me for everything, refusing to take responsibility for her actions. It was sad to see her fall apart, but I couldn't let her drag us down with her. One evening, as I was tucking the boys into bed, Timmy looked up at me and said, "VJ Daddy, I'm happy here with you and Alex." "DJKJ," I smiled, my heart swelling with love for my boys. "VJ Tim, happy too, Timmy. Web D Timber going to be okay. JKJ." The journey wasn't VGTM to easy, but we made it through. Jessica of DJ Tim's betrayal was a wound that took time to heal, but it also taught me the importance of strength and resilience. My boys were my anchor, and together we built a new life, free from the shadows of the past. I found solace in simple things, playing catch with Timmy, reading bedtime stories to Alex, watching them grow and thrive. Each day was a step forward, away from the pain and towards a brighter future. Jessica remained a part of our lives, but her influence waned. She struggled with her own demons, but I focused on my boys, ensuring they had the love and stability they needed. I was their father, their protector, and I would never let them down. Looking back, I realized that sometimes life throws you curveballs. It VDDDATM's how you handle them that defines you. Jessica DJTM's betrayal was a turning point, but it didn't break me. It made me stronger, more determined to be the best father I could be. As the years passed, Jessica's presence became less of a storm and more of a distant thunder. She continued to struggle with her own life choices, but I stayed firm in my commitment to Timmy and Alex. The boys were growing up fast, and I didn't want to miss a moment of it. Timmy started school and quickly made friends. He was a bright, curious kid, always asking questions and eager to learn. Alex, on the other hand, was more reserved, but he had a heart of gold. He was always there to lend a hand or share a toy with his brother. Jessica's supervised visits were a formality at best. She would show up, try to engage with the boys, but it was clear her heart wasn't in it. She was still wrapped up in her own misery, unable to break free from the cycle of self-pity and regret. One afternoon, after another lackluster visit, I sat down with the boys. "How do you feel about seeing your mom?" I asked gently. Timmy shrugged. "She's okay, I guess, but she always seems sad." Alex nodded in agreement. "Yeah, and she never plays with us like you do, Daddy." I hugged them both. "You know I love you more than anything, right? And I'll always be here for you." They smiled, their little faces lighting up. "We love you too, Daddy." Their words were my strength. I continued to build a stable, loving environment for them. We had our routines, our little traditions. Friday night movie nights, Saturday morning pancake breakfasts, Sunday afternoon park visits. Life was simple, but it was filled with love. Jessica's attempts to disrupt our peace dwindled over time. She moved farther away, trying to start over, but the damage she had done to our relationship was irreparable. The boys saw her less and less, and it was clear that they were happier without the constant turmoil she brought. One evening, as I was helping Timmy with his homework, he looked up at me. "Daddy, do you think we'll ever have a new mommy?" His question caught me off guard. I had been so focused on being there for them that I hadn't thought much about my own future. "I don't know, buddy. Maybe someday. But right now, I'm just happy being here with you and Alex." Timmy seemed satisfied with that answer. "Okay, Daddy. As long as we have you, that's all that matters." His words warmed my heart. Being a single dad was tough, but it was also the most rewarding thing I'd ever done. I watched my boys grow, guiding them through their challenges and celebrating their successes. We built new memories together, trips to the zoo, camping under the stars, birthday parties with their friends. Each moment was a testament to our resilience and our love for each other. Jessica's occasional attempts to reinsert herself into our lives became less of a threat and more of a sad reminder of what she had lost. She missed out on so much, but that was her choice. I had to focus on what was best for Timmy and Alex. The boys thrived. Timmy excelled in school, making me proud with every report card. Alex found his passion in soccer, and I became his biggest cheerleader at every game. We were a team, the three of us, facing the world together. As time went on, I began to think about my own happiness. The boys were growing up, and I realized that I deserved a chance at love too. I cautiously dipped my toes into the dating world, meeting new people and exploring new possibilities. One day, while picking up Alex from soccer practice, I met Sarah. She was the coach's daughter, helping out with the team. She had a warm smile and a kind heart, and we hit it off immediately. We started seeing each other, and she quickly became a cherished part of our lives. The boys adored her. She was patient, loving, and treated them like her own. For the first time in a long while, I felt a sense of completeness. Sarah brought a new light into our lives, and I was grateful for every moment we shared. Jessica's reaction to Sarah was predictably bitter. She tried to stir up trouble, claiming that I was trying to replace her in the boys' lives, but her words held no weight. The boys were old enough to see through her manipulations, and they embraced Sarah with open arms. Our new family dynamic flourished. We celebrated holidays together, went on vacations, and supported each other through thick and thin. Sarah's presence was a blessing, and she helped heal the wounds that Jessica had inflicted. Looking back, I realized that life has a way of surprising you. What started as a nightmare had turned into a beautiful journey of resilience, love, and growth. Jessica's betrayal was a painful chapter, but it didn't define our story. Timmy and Alex grew into remarkable young men, shaped by the love and stability I provided. They understood the importance of trust, honesty, and perseverance. They learned that family is about more than blood. It's about the people who stand by you through everything. Jessica faded into the background, a distant memory of a tumultuous time. She missed out on the joy of watching her sons grow, the laughter, the milestones. But that was her choice, and I had no regrets about the path we took. Sarah and I built a life together, filled with love and understanding. We faced challenges, but we faced them as a team. The boys flourished, surrounded by the support and care they deserved. In the end, I found that happiness is not about the absence of pain, but about finding the strength to move forward. My boys were my inspiration, my reason to keep going, and with Sarah by my side, I knew that we could face anything together. Life had thrown us a curveball, but we caught it and turned it into something beautiful. We were stronger, wiser, and ready for whatever came next. Because at the end of the day, love and resilience are what make a family whole. Years continued to pass, and our little family grew stronger with each passing day. Timmy and Alex became young men with bright futures ahead of them. Timmy was heading off to college soon, and Alex was making a name for himself in high school soccer. I couldn't be prouder of the young men they were becoming. Sarah was a rock for all of us. She supported the boys like they were her own and brought a warmth to our home that I hadn't realized we were missing. She was there for every triumph and every setback, always offering a comforting word or a helping hand. Jessica DATM's presence in our lives became even more sporadic. Her visits were few and far between, and the boys didn't seem to mind. They had grown accustomed to the stability and love that Sarah and I provided. They still saw their mother, but it was clear where their home truly was. One evening, as we were all sitting around the dinner table, Alex looked up from his plate. Dad, do you ever think about what life would be been like if things hadn't changed? I paused, looking at my boys, then at Sarah. I do sometimes, I admitted. But you know what? I think everything happened for a reason. We wouldn't be here together if things hadn't changed. Timmy nodded. Glad we have Sarah. Chev JTM's the best. Sarah blushed, smiling warmly at Timmy. the lucky one to have all of you. life was perfect, but it was real. We faced challenges together and celebrated our victories. Each day was a testament to our strength and the love we had built, despite everything that had happened. As Timmy prepared to leave for college, we all felt a mix of pride and sadness. My firstborn was stepping into a new chapter of his life, and I couldn't help but feel a little nostalgic. We threw him a big farewell party, inviting friends and family to celebrate his achievement. Jessica showed up unexpectedly, trying to make a scene about how she was missing out on her son's big moment, but Timmy handled it with grace, calmly explaining that she was always welcome to be part of his life if she chose to. It was a bittersweet reminder of how far we had come and how much we had grown. After the party, Sarah and I sat on the porch, reflecting on the journey we had taken together. I never thought IVJTMD find happiness again. I confessed. But you changed everything, Sarah. She took my hand, her eyes filled with love. You and the boys are my world, Mike. Tim, so grateful we found each other. Jake J. We watched the stars, feeling a deep sense of contentment. Our journey was conventional, but it was ours. We had turned a painful past into a hopeful future, filled with love and promise. In the years that followed, we continued to build our life together. Timmy thrived in college, calling home often to share his experiences. Alex pursued his passion for soccer, with dreams of playing professionally. Sarah and I supported them every step of the way, our bond growing stronger with each challenge we faced. Jessica remained on the periphery, her life a stark contrast to the stability and love we had created. She made occasional attempts to reinsert herself into the boys' VGTM lives, but they had grown wise to her ways. They understood that family was about more than shared blood VDJ. It was about shared values, trust, and unwavering support. As I look back on our journey, I realized that we found happiness not in spite of the pain, but because of how we chose to respond to it. We embraced the changes, faced the challenges head-on, and built a life filled with love and resilience. Our story was NVJTMD perfect, but it was ours. And in the end, that VDJTM's all that mattered. We had each other, and together, we were unstoppable. Years rolled on, and our family continued to grow and evolve. Timmy graduated from college and landed a great job in the city. Alex, true to his passion, earned a soccer scholarship to a prestigious university. Sarah and I couldn't be prouder of our boys and the men they were becoming. Our home was filled with laughter, love, and the occasional chaos that comes with having two active young adults. Sarah and I settled into a comfortable rhythm. She found a rewarding career in education, working as a guidance counselor at a local high school. Her empathy and understanding made her a favorite among the students, and she often came home with stories of how she had helped guide them through their own challenges. Our life together was filled with simple pleasures. We enjoyed quiet evenings on the porch, weekend hikes, and spontaneous road trips. We celebrated holidays and birthdays with the boys, creating new traditions and cherishing the moments we spent together. Jessica TMM's presence in our lives dwindled even further. She had remarried and seemed to be trying to build a new life for herself. The boys kept a respectful distance, understanding that while she was their mother, the stability and love they needed came from the home Sarah and I had built. One summer evening, as the sun set in a blaze of orange and pink, Timmy and Alex surprised us with a special announcement. They had planned a weekend getaway for the four of us to a cabin in the mountains VDJ, a chance to reconnect and celebrate our journey together. The trip was perfect. We hiked, fished, and sat around the campfire sharing stories and laughter. One night, under a sky filled with stars, Timmy turned to me and said, "VJ Dad, you and Sarah have shown us what real love and resilience look like. We VJTM are so grateful for everything you've done for us, DJKJ." I looked at my sons, feeling a swell of pride and emotion. VJ, I'm proud of you both. You've become incredible men, and Sarah and I are lucky to have you in our lives. JKG, Sarah smiled, her eyes glistening with tears. VJ family is everything. We've DDTM, we built something beautiful together. DJJ. Our weekend in the mountains was a reminder of how far we had come. We returned home with a renewed sense of closeness and appreciation for each other. Life continued its steady march, bringing new challenges and joys. Timmy got engaged to a wonderful woman named Emily, and their wedding was a joyous celebration of love and family. Sarah and I watched with pride as they exchanged vows, knowing that they were beginning their own journey together. Alex, too, found love with a woman who shared his passion for adventure and travel. Our family expanded, and the love and laughter in our home multiplied. As the years passed, Sarah and I began to think about retirement. We dreamed of traveling, exploring new places, and spending more time with our growing family. We sold the house and bought a cozy cottage by a lake, a place where we could relax and enjoy the beauty of nature. One autumn evening, as we sat on the porch of our cottage watching the leaves turn golden red, I turned to Sarah. VJJJNJ, I never imagined life would turn out this way. VJTME's been a wild ride, but I wouldn't change a thing. DJK, Sarah squeezed my hand. VJNJME neither, Mike. We've been through a lot, but DJTM's made us stronger. IVJTM, grateful for every moment. JKJ, we spent our days exploring the countryside, hosting family gatherings, and simply enjoying each other VJJTM's company. The boys visited often, bringing their own families and filling our home with the sounds of children VDTM's laughter. As we settled into our golden years, Sarah and I found ourselves reflecting more on the past. We talked about the early days of our relationship, the challenges we faced, and the triumphs we celebrated. We marveled at how far we had come and how much we had grown together. One evening, as we sat by the fireplace, Sarah looked at me with a thoughtful expression. VJ, do you ever think about what might have happened if things had been different? If Jessica hadn't VJTM'd left, if we hadn't DDJTM'd found each other? JKJ, I smiled, thinking about the winding path that had led us here. VDJNJ sometimes. But then I remembered that everything happened for a reason. We've DJTM'er here now, together, and that VDJTM's what matters. DJJ, Sarah nodded, her eyes filled with love. VGNG, you've JTM'er rewrite. We have JTMV built a beautiful life together, and I wouldn't JTMT trade it for anything. DJKJ, our retirement was a time of peace and contentment. We traveled to places we had always dreamed of visiting, VJ, the rolling hills of Tuscany, the bustling streets of Tokyo, and the serene beaches of the Caribbean. Each trip was an adventure, a new chapter in our shared story. Back home, we continued to be involved in our community. Sarah volunteered at the local school, and I joined a group of retirees who worked on restoring old boats. We made new friends and deepened our connections with old ones, creating a rich tapestry of relationships that enriched our lives. As the years passed, our family continued to grow. Timmy and Emily had 2 beautiful children, and Alex and his wife welcomed a son. Our home was once again filled with the joyous chaos of young children, and Sarah and I reveled in our roles as doting grandparents. We hosted family gatherings at our cottage, teaching the grandchildren how to fish, telling them stories by the campfire, and creating memories that would last a lifetime. Sarah V. DG/TM was warmth and kindness, made her the heart of our family, and I couldn't imagine life without her. One summer, we decided to take the entire family on a trip to a beach house. It was a week filled with sun, sand, and laughter. Watching our children and grandchildren play together, I felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude for the life we had built. One evening, as the sun set over the ocean, Timmy approached me with a thoughtful expression. "VJ Dad, you and Sarah have shown us what real love looks like. You've been through so much, and yet you VJ are still here, stronger than ever. DK." I looked at my son, pride swelling in my chest. "VJ love is in VJ always easy, Timmy. It takes work, patience, and understanding. But ITVJ Horum's worth it. Every moment, DJKJ. Sarah joined us, wrapping her arms around me. VDDNJWEVDT lucky to have each other.